views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Hello, welcome to my show this week. This is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page, and to my left, of course, is Terry Doran.
Hi, Patty.
He's my co-host, you know, and over here is Abigail King.
Hi, Patty. Thanks for having me.
Wow, we're here for a special reason. So, why don't you open up? Why don't you tell us what's happening in April? Something very special.
We do. Well, we have for Save Maumee, this will be our 9th annual celebration of Earth Day.
Maumee River, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we've been working on river restoration projects since 2005.
Right.
And in doing this now, it is time to kick it up a notch. This will be our 9th annual, so instead of just having it at the usual location, we are going to expand downstream, and we're going to go 141 miles in 9 days on the river.
So you go there 4.5 days and you come back another 4 days?
We are going to, we're going to start at the Continental Divide between the Mississippi River system and the Great Lakes system.
Oh.
So that is right there at Eagle Marsh. So think of it, it's like Smith and Angle Road. So really when you were standing in that area, you can, on this hand, if it rains, it will go to the Wabash, to the Ohio, to the Mississippi, and to the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
If it rains on this hand, it will go to Junk Ditch, to the St. Mary's, to the Maumee, to Defiance, Ohio, and outlet in Toledo. So that is a very special area. This is also the same area that have the potential to have invasive species like the silver Asian carp enter right there. And so at Eagle Marsh, the Army Corps of Engineers is planning a almost $3 million project to create a berm or a hill to separate those two watersheds, those two, the Continental Divide.
So, what happens if it floods? I got you on that. Listen,
I do have an answer for that because the Army Corps of Engineers is planning to do this $3 million berm, but I still haven't seen any plans if the silver Asian carp get into the Great Lakes. So it's all prevention, and I just haven't seen a plan that if. And nature just has a very funny way of making its way wherever it likes.
What danger is this fish? I mean, what does it do?
It eats sporting fish's food. It eats.
So they don't get any food this time.
Right, and they're very large. They don't have any predators in the United States. So, probably this big.
Wow. Oh, that'll make a nice dinner, wouldn't it?
This way.
That'll make a nice
there we
dinner.
Go. It's a fish story. Sorry.
Get bigger. I was just wondering, why? Okay.
No, go ahead.
Why are you doing this trip?
With the trip, we are starting and then going downstream to GPS locations that are not on any map or with the county. And so there's these pipes that are discharging into the river, and these are tiles. It's like drainage tiles but that still adds to runoff into the river. And
Irrigation?
yeah, irrigation. Most of it is agricultural land in the watershed. And then our second goal is that's been identified as for government groups and nonprofits is that they want to bring people to the water. They want to give people hands-on projects to make them come to the water, make them appreciate it more. And so we're providing those staging areas where they can highlight best management practices.
Nature walks or something?
Yeah, nature walks, what works. We're going to also GPS the locations of areas that are eroding and having
Swamps? Guess
problems.
swamps
Wetlands.
Yeah.
Swamps always sound so...
Oh, I like saying swamps.
I like swamps too, but it makes me think of the bayou down
I
south.
love wetlands. We got a lot of life there. in
Yes,
wetlands.
they're nature's kidneys. When you take away wetlands, that is, it soaks into the ground and naturally filtrates through. Okay, so
So, why is the Maumee dark brown?
That is a great question, Patty. Our water will never be blue or beautiful green or absolutely clear because we're in Indiana. We are prime farmland. So we have clay, loam, and silt.
Oh.
So you think of what that looks like in a jar, and it looks brown. So it's the soil content. So our rivers will never run beautifully blue or beautifully green, but that doesn't mean that the water quality can't improve.
There is life.
Yes. Oh, yes. The
See where they're going?
in the mouth in Toledo,
Yeah.
it is the most biologically active
Right.
river down there. So, and it's Lake Erie, so it's the most shallow. So it has the fish. It's warmer, so fish are able to breed, and over 50% of all the sporting fish spend part of their life cycle in Lake Erie.
Well, what's your third goal?
And our third goal for the trip is going to be to highlight Army Corps of Engineers' indiscriminate removal of vegetation on riverbanks. What happened was when Hurricane Katrina happened, some entity in the government had to be held responsible for that happening, for the levees to fail. So in their development of trying to protect the public, they made a blanket statement for the entire country that said that we are going to, we need to inspect all levees. They're going to inspect them twice a year, so they're even spraying rodeo on riprap, which are the big boulders.
Wow.
So they're removing vegetation for inspection purposes only throughout the entire country. And what's happening, for example, in California, they have, there's lawsuits that ensued because they wanted to mow down 9 miles of stream vegetation next to the levees. So think of it as, when I talk about a levee, I think of a hill
A mound.
and a mound, and then on 15 feet on both sides of that mound is where they want to remove all vegetation.
Does that include trees?
So that would be trees, even the grasses.
That would just
But-
make
but-
everything worse.
Isn't vegetation essential to the health of the river?
Yes. Vegetation it helps it be biologically diverse. Shade on waterways with big trees helps dissolved oxygen be present in the water.
Yeah, take away the trees, there's no...
Yeah. And the vegetation is a natural filtration device that is going to slow down the violent velocity of water rushing past when there's flooding. So I would understand if they wanted to remove, say, a huge tree that has the potential to dig into a concrete structure. Other than that, there's no reason. All of my research, and I do have that backed up on the web, all my research points to there is vegetation is beneficial to levees. It helps the integrity of the levee, and there's no reason to remove it. And currently there is a bill in the House. It passed in the House of Representatives, and currently I just called on it. They're anticipating that it's going to pass in the next month and a half. So we helped to educate the legislative body.
Good.
And yes.
Well, there's an aesthetic quality too. I mean, going to goal number 2 of getting people to use the river. There's a beauty to the river. There's a poetry to the river. I think that people, when you eliminate the vegetation, the trees, the shade, you're sort of interfering with that too. So
Yes.
I know that's a whole other topic. So,
Well, that's
but
another
worth
reason.
mentioning.
Good reasoning, Terry, because we are on the list. It's called the 303D list for impaired waterways. It is a federal designation that says that we do not meet standards set by the federal government and the Clean Water Act. And one of those reasons is for lack of biological habitat. You're right. And when you want to, well, they're spraying. They're spraying this rodeo on the rocks. Now, if you look in Fort Wayne on Edgewater Boulevard and Tennessee Boulevard, on Tennessee they have planters that were put there by the Army Corps of Engineers to grow vegetation and make it look pretty.
Yes.
And it's more for aesthetics than for function.
Right.
But they spent that money on putting these planters in
Instead of cleaning up the river.
Well, but
And
now they're
take them
spraying it
away.
with pesticide, or excuse me, they're spraying it with herbicide rodeo to get rid of the vegetation that.
There's no
And the
logic in
scary
this.
part
Silly.
about that is it gets into the water quality, into the water we drink. I mean, it's not even safe.
It's in the food.
Well,
I would
Yeah.
say. I mean,
Right. Well, let's talk about rodeo for
Yeah.
a second. It's the only approved. It's approved by the Department of Natural Resources as the only near water herbicide application. Okay, but just so you know, the Division of Forestry, previous to these other government entities being created, also approved DDT and asbestos.
yeah, there you go.
So that's what I have to say about
We
that.
have a lot of work to do, don't we?
Well,
I have a lot of work to do. Thank you for helping me.
yeah, and Abby has started this all by herself, pretty much, moving into a house on the river, across from the river on the Maumee in '05, and since then it's just done amazing things with all volunteers, and I'm happy I was part of it last year, interviewing people about the river, getting shots of the river, getting people working on the riverbank, hauling incredible amounts of trash out of there. I mean, a little kid, I think he's in 2nd or 3rd grade. It was so impressive. He's there with a pickup truck. He's not driving it, of course, but I mean, he's going out with the driver and pulling in, stove? I mean, it's just the junk is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
people got to understand, river is not a dumping place. It's a place of beauty. It should be a place of beauty. It should be a place for us to enjoy, and it's a life flow. And that's one of the things Abby is really concentrated on, is
Water
that you
is
screw around
life.
with that river, you're screwing around with everything else.
Yes.
You have a PowerPoint describing the actual traveling up the river.
I do.
Can we see that? Can
Yeah.
we talk through it?
We sure can. So since Terry's done such a great job with introducing us, let me tell you what our exact stats are as of this very moment. We have planted over 2,000 trees, some of which are fruit and berry bearing. We planted 900 pounds of native DNR approved riparian, or when I say riparian, it's riverbank. Just think of riverbank. Riparian seed, so it's 900 pounds.
Wow.
We have planted 16,000 square feet of erosion control mats, which you'll see on the PowerPoint. And we have removed over 26,200 pounds of trash
And it's still
since
warm.
2005.
Oh my goodness.
Two elements. I mean, you're taking the trash out and you're beautifying the river at the same time
So
by
it's-
planting vegetation
Yes.
and the things that you're mentioning. And what's impressive about you, I mean, you don't just talk about this. You know, you get people to do it, and then they feel good. They feel like they're contributing something to their river. It's our rivers, you know.
And it's also, it's something tangible, so a lot more
Exactly.
happens than just some trash being removed from the river. You are empowering people to bring them back to the water, to fall in love again and have these stories on our riverbanks. And so we're giving them something tangible that they can feel good about and maybe want to replicate.
Okay, Abby, tell us about the trip itself. 9 days. You said where it starts. What's going to happen in those?
So we are inviting people to 8 locations along the riverbanks to join us. Our canoe crew is already set, so you are welcome to join us on the landing places where we are landing. All of this information is readily available on the website because we're going to New Haven. So you can meet us in New Haven in the afternoon.
What days are
This
starting?
is April. It's starting Saturday, April 19th. We'll be in New Haven.
What time?
And then,
In the morning? What time?
see, that's part of the fun, Patty.
Are you kidding?
Part of the fun is that we're launching at 9 a.m. in the morning with
Right.
my canoe crew.
That's good.
In the afternoon, we'll be joining everyone on the land locations, and I have a land movement crew, so we have, we'll already be set up as our canoers come into port. So it is going to be, we have vegetation planting at 2 locations. We have beekeeping and on the 25th. The Environmental Protection Agency will be there to answer questions. I think that's on the 25th. We have River Network is going to be presenting some of their information on how to save a river on April 21st.
And this is all on the banks. I mean, on the banks.
Yeah, so these are at our 8 locations. So, you know, like it's Saturday to Saturday. And so we start on the 19th, and then it's going to be in New Haven.
Yeah.
Then the 20th is going to be in,
That's Easter.
yes, that's Blue Cast Springs, Easter. And we have on Easter, we're going to do an Easter egg hunt. We have a Buddhist blessing that will be coming. And there was something else. Oh, I think I had a couple of our members bringing food because they didn't want us to be hungry on Easter.
Well, how are you going to eat? Are you going to bring your own?
We have Food Not Bombs. Save Maumee is right now rallying to collect some food for Food Not Bombs. They are a grassroots group that believe in feeding people.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna help them out, and they're gonna cook for us, and they're going to join us in a mobile kitchen all 8 days. We feed breakfast and dinner.
So
Wow.
at these places that you land, there will be other people there already there
Yes.
with the food,
Yes.
so they don't have to travel down with you.
No. The only thing that will be in the canoes is our equipment that we need for the day,
Right.
and water. Because
Oh, the
water is
real-
life. You need water, drinking
Yeah,
water.
Drinking water. Okay. Okay. I have some.
Do you have somebody providing the canoes for you?
As of right this very moment,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the Allen County Parks and Rec Department. It's part of their mission.
You have a whole month from now.
Yep. So they have 18 canoes, and if that doesn't work out,
Well, you know,
Then
you
we're
swim.
going to, nope, then I have Boy Scouts of America
Oh, good.
is helping us with our contingency plan, but they would, this trip
Are you
with
renting?
for our members is completely free. It's free because this is your river. People, I'm trying to give them an opportunity to come there and be part of it.
Do you have sponsors?
No.
Oh, okay.
So are you going to have 18 canoes going? That'd be 36 people?
Correct.
Is that basically it?
Yes.
And that's full, so anybody else that might want to go watching the show, they would have to have their own canoe.
Yeah, if
or
you can-
call you if you can
Sure.
get one.
Do you have to pass
If
a
you
test?
have your own canoe and you would like to paddle with us, great. There are very, very limited opportunities to go with us. This is not a trip for the average paddler or small person. This is, when I say small, I mean like young.
Yeah.
Oh, that's small. Okay.
Yeah, that's small. But so if they would like to join us, I have all of on the map on the 2014 canoe trip on the internet. You can see where our launching areas are and join us. Please note where the portage areas are.
Right.
We cannot help you portage or get you back to your boat. That is something that
When
they're
you
going to have
say
to do.
portage-
I'm taking care of our
You have to
18
carry your
boats.
own
Okay,
canoe?
and people can drive to launch where you're docking, if that's the word,
Sure.
and join there as a way of participating.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So if you want to say join us on Easter, you can just go to the site, and all that's on Abby's website. By
It
the
sure
way.
is.
Should the people who are on this trip have a medical checkup to make sure that they're okay?
All of the people who are on our canoe, our canoe portion of the trip, they are Save Maumee stamp of approval members. So that
what I'm
means
saying
that
is-
yes, I'm definitely interested in health and safety, but this is not for beginners. What we're doing, this is for
The real-
hardcores.
All right.
Hardcore. So,
And my whole family will be there.
really?
Yeah.
How are you going to get back then? You're in Toledo.
Yep.
You're not going to paddle back.
Yeah, how are you
obviously.
gonna
Terry,
get
I was
back?
hoping you were going to help drive us back.
Oh,
Hello.
Can you meet us in Toledo and give me a ride?
Yeah.
I'll be the one like hitchhiking. Maybe we can
So
stop
what are you
at
going to do
the.
with the
You have
canoes?
18 canoes, 36
Where are you going to put
hired.
them?
We have trailers. The Allen County, the very kind and gracious Allen County Parks Department has all that.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So how many days on the river, actually? 9?
Actually, 7 days
7
on the
days
river,
on the river.
unless we deem the portion between the Mary Jane Thurston State Park in Ohio at Grand Rapids, and Perrysburg is on the south side of the river. Maumee, city of Maumee, is on the north side of the river. That is a portion that we're concerned about, and we have an evaluation day for the river in
That's labeled
The 24th.
potentially unsafe, right? Because of
potentially unsafe
rapids.
just because of the time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it going to be cold? That's all I want to know.
I say that if you plan to be cold and
You will be.
wet, that you won't have a problem at all.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's what I
Yeah, if you plan.
Yeah, you got to
Who
plan to
makes
be
a
cold.
If you
right?
don't
decision
fall
on
out,
safety like
but-
that? Would you, or is there like a Coast Guard, or is there some river entity that would say, "Sorry, Abby, you can't go.
We're
It's
going.
unsafe."
No, we're going to watch the. We have a weather watcher.
Oh,
And we have the USGS stations and the Coast Guard, and we have communications with fabulous Bill White. Bill has been an asset to helping keep our safety plan on task.
and you have health people, medics?
Yes, we have a medic crew. We have 2 medics on water, 2 medics on our land crew that's moving the stuff back and forth.
Do
we
they
have
travel
a Jeep that
alongside
is
you?
able to take people in case of emergencies. And
That's good. Well, we have that's about a minute from our. No, 1 minute. because he put that up a couple minutes ago.
That was just his middle finger.
Hello. Well, we don't have the...
Well, what's your biggest worry and hope?
My biggest
things.
concern is probably just that it's going to be, if it is average flood height, it is go.
Right.
The canoe trip is go.
Right.
If it is above average flood height or approaching over average flood height,
Right.
Okay.
Then
with
it's
the
a no-go.
potential to have too much water,
Yeah.
we have to cancel. It is dangerous. I mean, I may go on some dangerous river, but I am not taking
You
other
don't want to muck about with other people's lives.
No. So that's my concern, is that we have a lot of drainage. We've had a lot of precipitation
yes.
and snow, and so
There has been
Snow
no
melt.
flood
You
warning
about
today.
that because it's going to be higher than usual, probably because of all the snow and
we don't know. I mean,
it's
we don't
true.
know the weather. It may dry up
Right.
really quick. We don't get any more precipitation.
knows.
We might have a really rainy season. We might get another snowstorm.
If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it changes.
There's not bad weather. There's only bad dressing.
And the nut behind the wheel.
Yeah.
This is going on towards the end of our show. Thank you, Terry Doran.
Oh, thank you, Patty. Fascinating.
Patty,
Fascinating.
thank you for having me.
Ah,
I
nice to be
truly
had.
appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you, Abigail
Thank
King.
you very much.
Abby.
You all are
And may
fabulous.
you have a safe voyage, bon voyage, and come back, okay?
Gracias.
Bye.
Thank you.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my